taking a little trip. Want to go look at a little box truck. Been setting for a while until it had been started or run or. Only bad thing about it is either a Chevy or a GMC. But I am in the old F1 Sickley again. Finally got the charging system lined out. I suppose it's been almost 8 months now and haven't had to charge the battery once. Haven't had any starting issues. But then again, I haven't driven it at nighttime. But at dusk, I had the headlights on for a couple times for probably 20 minutes altogether. Had been running the air conditioner this summer though, did do that. But I had a little issue with the old F1 Sickley. It broke the bolt that holds the harmonic balancer on. And fortunately, I was just coming out of the driveway of the other piece of property. And I hadn't even got to the blacktop yet, hadn't even got out of the driveway when it just, it quit running. And I tried to start it back up, and it didn't. Of course, it didn't start, but I heard a banging and thrashing. I didn't know at the time what was wrong with it. So I raised the hood and looked, and the serpentine belt was broke, and some of it was wrapped around some of the pulleys. And so I pulled that off. So I thought that it just broke the belt. So I did have another belt. Well, I had to call my brother to come up, pull me back away, because it was right on the edge of the road. It wasn't in the road. So I had to pull back up into the driveway. And we got the belt, the new belt, to put on. And we got to looking, and my brother said, well, I think you got more problems at a shredded belt. And sure enough, looked, and there was the harmonic balancer just laying in there. So we went and got a car dolly and pulled it to a garage. And he got that straightened out. So a day or two later, got in it to drive uptown, and the truck wouldn't steer. I thought, now what in the world now? So I got out and looked, and the belt was on. The serpentine belt was on. So I got to looking, why is the belt on? Have we done this again? But the harmonic balancer was on there, and got to looking, and one of the idler pulley had come loose. It hadn't come off, but it come loose. Now this pulley had been replaced before, and the nut that holds on, it's a kind of nut screw type deal with it's all made together with like a washer. It's got a flat back on it. Anyway, it was just basically laying there, just kind of flopping around, and with it flopping, of course, the belt come off. Well, I tightened it back up and put the belt back on. Well, it's just fine, but it makes a little rattling noise. And I guess but it was just a few months old. So evidently, when I went to put it back on, it didn't tighten all the way up. And so I'm thinking when it was replaced, that same thing happened. But they didn't pay real close attention to it, because it liked about that much going all the way up. But as you screwed it, it stopped, but it wouldn't go against the pulley. So I got to looking at it, and there was some crud around it, so I took it and cleaned everything off, put it back on, and then before I put the pulley on, I run the screw in, or the bolt, whatever you want to call it, and run it back out, and it went all the way. It went all the way. So then I put the pulley back on. Well, for the next 2 or 3 days, I checked it, and it had worked itself loose a little bit, not much. So, of course, I tightened it back up. And it still rattles. So, it's probably in the process of it doing this. I guess the bearings got loose. It's a plastic. The original was metal. But this is plastic, of course, with a metal bearing in it. But I say eventually I'm probably going to have to change that. But other than that, and then when he took everything off, he had to take the radiator out. I mean, it was a job, just changing that goofy bolt. Never seen one do that. I knew small block Chevys done that, but break a bolt in the harmonic balancer. But I mean, V6 Ford, they ain't got enough power to hurt herself. So it was a kind of a surprise, and I thought maybe the crank had broke. That's what I initially thought, that the crank broke. But it was that goofy bolt, and good luck finding one of them, by the way, because it took it took several attempts trying to find one. And everything's discontinued. You can't buy nothing for anything anymore. If you do, you can't get nothing delivered. It's just one of them deals. But finally got it back together anyway. And now I don't have no air conditioning, because I haven't had the air. It's October, so who the heck cares? But as far as the battery issues, I really won't know till I get it out and drive it at nighttime. Or at least, turn the headlights on while it's running to see what happens. Every time I put a meter on it and check it, it all checks good. It takes, 12.5, 12.6 without it running, or just holding good charge for the battery. And then when you start it, it's 14.2, 14.3, 14.0. And of course, when you turn something on, demand more power from it, it seems to do all right. I've checked it both at the battery and at the alternator, both. So it checks. It does what it's supposed to do, is what I'm saying. But it's the F-160, so I'm still kind of skeptical about getting out and going anywhere at nighttime in it. But like I say, it's been 8 months. It should be. It should tell the tale. You know what I'm saying? I haven't really had no reason to get out at nighttime in it to go anywhere. And as far as I usually goes, it's maybe 30 miles a day right now or something. I do some house cleaning and cleaning monuments now too, headstones. I'm starting that business. And I find that I really enjoy that. it's just, I just enjoy being out in the cemetery, and it's quiet, and you couldn't find a quieter place, I don't reckon. And just taking care of all that. So anyway, we're going to go out here and look at this truck. I was stopped yesterday, and nobody answered the door. Nobody's home, so I left my card. I never got a call, so I don't know if they found it or I don't know. Anyway, there was 4 or 5 vehicles there, and but nobody came to the door. So it was in the afternoon, about 2 o'clock, 2:30. So I wouldn't think anybody had been in bed, but who knows? And all this coronavirus stuff, they might have been afraid to answer the door. I didn't have no mask on. I've got masks, but anyway, we're going to go out here and I'm going to go out to the property out here and take a look around. There's a bunch of stuff I got to clean up. Got some equipment out there I got to move. I got to move everything, actually. Got to move the mobile home. Got to cut the trees out. Let's move everything. Wow. Smell off the bag of garbage that's scattered all over the place. But anyway, we're going to stop and see what we can do. I might try to do some trading with them. I noticed that there with sidewalks, somebody they tried to pressure wash it, and by just using the wand, it leaves a lot of streaks. It works, you can do it, but it leaves a lot of streaks. And their concrete is black, moldy, it's black. They got mold on their house. It's a brick house, but it's like anything else. It gets dirty, So maybe I might try to do some swapping and trading with them for house cleaning, for maybe full or partial payment on that truck. It's a box truck, small box. It's not very big. It looks like maybe a 8-foot bed, maybe. But I don't care if the truck runs or not. I really don't care. I just like to have the truck and have me an advertisement put on the side of it and leave it parked behind my house by the main road for my business. Let's see, I'm here, so let me look. Let's see, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 vehicles in the driveway, and yeah, so I don't know. I may go up here and turn around and go back. I was going to go up to the property first, but I think I'll turn around and go back and see if there's anybody home. Thing out here, it's got my card in it. There's a camper sitting there. I cleaned campers too. I priced one yesterday. No, day before yesterday. Yeah, it's 33 foot. Tag alongs, what I call them. This fifth wheel. So and see what's going on. See if we can do any good on this. Like I say, the truck's been sitting there quite some time. And like I say, I don't care whether it runs or not. I'm not looking for it to run, don't really care. Don't really care. Alright, so here we go. See what we got going on right here. Got some nice vehicles. Got a Lincoln and Ford truck. Well, alright then. That was short and sweet. Said it wasn't for sale. Alright. Well, that's not going to do me no good, now is it? Let's head on up the creek. Raining, drizzly, kind of a nasty day. So, I stopped up here, well, yesterday and the day before, cleaned my monument and my sister's. Got a lot of algae. I didn't have the stuff that really removed the algae with me, so I stopped here and done some work on it, and I'm going to run up here and take another look at it. See how it came out. I brought some extra stuff up here. I brought it's a polished stone with cut around the edges, so it's not completely polished all the way around it. And when that algae starts grabbing a hold of that cut stone, it just don't want to turn loose. The marble's easier to clean, but if it's all polished, it's easy to clean, and you can do a good job. But the cut makes it a little bit harder, so I'll be right back. miss me? Alright. Let's rock and roll, Hooch Coo. Whew. Old fat man gets out of breath. The house needs washed. This one down here looks good. Should let me do the roof too. Make that place look new. Problem with vinyl siding, especially if it's aged, if it's got some years on it. This mobile home been here quite some time. I mean, it looks good, looks nice, but it oxidizes. And you can take care of the oxidation too, but that, I mean, you're talking more work, more money. You know, it's like I told them, it's not a restoration, it's a cleaning. Now you want a restoration, it would have been about twice as much as what I charged them, if not more. I charged them $250 less. I cleaned 3 decks, double wide garage, and an outbuilding, and concrete. But I knew the people that lived there, so this was their family that wanted it cleaned up. I guess they're trying to sell it, I guess. So, because I knew them, was raised up around them, and you know, so. Anyway, take care of it. That old dude had that truck. It looks like it's a 80, some model, 80, 81, somewhere in there. Square body Chevrolet. It's not 70s, it's in the 80s. Bought it new. I had so many kids, he couldn't buy a car to haul them all, so he bought a flatbed truck. And I'll go to town once a month. There's another camper I'm going to give a price on. Just as soon as I get a chance, trucking on. Again, when I do this and watch these things, it's not a restoration. It's just it's just cleaning them. That's all it is. It's just cleaning. So make that clear. I try to make that clear to my customers. I don't restore it. I just clean it. It's like decks, you know. They want it. Of course, you can get it looking really, really good. This, you know, you got a 30, 35-year-old deck that's got black mold and green algae, and you know, it's never had anything done other than rainwater and maybe sweeping with a broom, or some people just take a leaf blower and blow the dust off of it. And other than that, and they expect you to make it look like new lumber. Well, like I said, you know, if it's, you know, it's stained, eventually the stain's going to wear out. You know, stain don't last forever. Paint don't last forever. And to me, painting's the worst thing you could do with them, but that's just my opinion. But anyway. It is what it is. Oh, look at the turkey. Wow. About 8 of them.